Welcome to SG Coin Chronicles, your trusted gateway into the fascinating world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and forgotten currency history. From ancient empires to modern rarities, we uncover the stories, values, and secrets behind some of the world's most remarkable coins. Whether you're a collector, a history lover, or simply curious, we bring you well-researched insights, real coin values, and expert commentary you won't find anywhere else. Subscribe now and turn on notifications, because every coin has a story, and CoinAZ Pulse is here to tell it. The tale begins in a time of profound transitions in South Africa. The late 1980s were years of tension and change. International pressure, internal resistance movements, and the long shadow of apartheid created a charged atmosphere. The minting of coins continued, but each one carried more than monetary weight. They bore silent witness to an evolving nation. The 1989 2 Rand coin, then, becomes more than spare change. It becomes a time capsule from a moment when South Africa teetered on the edge of transformation. Let's start with its design. On the obverse side, you'll find the South African coat of arms. The shield in the center is flanked by two animals, and above it a rising sun. Symbols carefully chosen to represent unity, strength, and beginnings. Around the edge, inscriptions in both English and Afrikaans often appear. South Africa and Suid-Afrika. The dual languages reflect the country's dual heritage and the tensions inherent in its multicultural identity. Flip it over, and you see the springbok, graceful, swift, at home in the open plains. The springbok is an enduring national symbol, used widely in logos, sports, and prideful imagery. Even today, South Africans recognize it instantly as part of their identity. Below the animal, the denomination 2 Rand is clearly inscribed, along with the year 1989. Clean, bold lines reinforce both simplicity and authority. From the moment such a coin leaves the mint, time begins its corrosive work. The sharpness of the details fades, contact with other coins creates abrasions, and exposure to air leaves subtle toning or discoloration. Many pieces seen in markets today show signs of circulation, where on the coat of arms, flattening of the antelope's back or horns, loss of luster. That's why when a specimen emerges that retains crisp detail, original mint luster, and minimal blemish, it immediately draws attention. Collectors assess several factors when judging a coin's quality. The first is grade, essentially a measure of how worn or pristine the coin remains. A high grade means you can still see fine lines in the coat of arms, feathers or texture around the shield, crisp details in the springbok's fur and horns, and a smooth, even field without distracting marks. A lower grade exhibits smoothing, heavy bag marks, or even corrosion. Also critical is the strike quality, how sharply the dies impress the design into the metal. Sometimes the mint pressure is uneven, or the die itself wears. A well-struck coin shows strong relief and clean separation between design elements and the background. On the best coins, you'll sometimes even see mint luster shining through the fields, giving a subtle glow, a hint of their original brilliance. Another key is rarity. How many of that coin remain in high condition? While thousands may have been struck in 1989, only a tiny fraction survive unscathed. Some may have been melted, lost, or degraded beyond collectible standards. What remains becomes precious. Then there's provenance, the story a coin carries. Has it passed through notable collections? Was it part of a famous auction? Does it come with documentation? A coin with a well-documented history often enjoys a premium among serious collectors who value authenticity and legacy as much as visual appeal. When such a gem surfaces, let's say a 2 Rand from 1989 that retains nearly full mint luster, has sharp strike, minimal blemish, and known provenance, collectors sit up in attention. Bids rise rapidly. The emotional pull is strong. Owning something rare, beautiful, and historically resonant creates a sense of stewardship. Online auction records and numismatic publications occasionally record these rare finds. In recent years, one such specimen drew tremendous interest. It was described as being in uncirculated condition with only the faintest handling marks invisible to casual inspection. It had been part of a private collection, carefully stored, with photographic records and a certificate of authenticity. When it went to auction, bidders spanned continents: Europe, Asia, the Americas, each eager to own a piece of South African heritage. The excitement stayed high and the price climbed. Some bidders withdrew, unwilling to match the escalating competition. But one remained, recognizing what many see in rare coins, that their value is more than money, but connection to history, to culture, to beauty. That successful bidder ultimately paid $9,610 for that single coin. Now, why might someone be willing to invest that kind of money in what looks like just a coin to the average eye? Partly because numismatics, the study and collection of coins, is a field where patience, scholarship, and good taste pay off. Some collectors focus on mint errors, others on historical eras, others on coins of pristine condition. A coin like the 1989 2 Rand, rare in its finest state and meaningful in its origin, ticks boxes for several collector types at once. There is also the collectible market to think about. As economies fluctuate, collectors sometimes turn to tangible assets, metals, coins, artifacts, as people seek stability or diversification. A coin that commands attention, backed by documentation and rarity, can be seen as both investment and art. The trend toward digitized auctions and global bidders further amplifies competition. A coin in a small town can draw bids from across the planet. For those watching this coin story, there are lessons. First, don't dismiss coins because they seem ordinary. Sometimes the extraordinary hides in plain sight. Second, always examine condition, strike, rarity, and provenance when assessing value. Photographs can deceive. Rely on trusted grading services or certifications. Third, when that perfect specimen does surface, the price may seem staggering, but buyers of high-level collectibles often accept that value is what someone is willing to pay in that moment, not what a catalog claims. And finally, there is beauty in the journey, the thrill of the hunt, the pleasure of holding something rare and tangible, the connection to a past era. For someone to pay $9,610 for that 1989 2 Rand coin is not just paying for metal. They are paying for history, craftsmanship, story, and prestige.